bad news everywhere you go. I mean...
Trick or treat! Britney Spears' new video and the evil side of a woman's nature. That's what's going to be on DKW today. The question is, do you dare to join us? Good afternoon and welcome to DKW. I'm Shireen, and today, as you probably noticed in the shops, we've got ghosts and ghouls everywhere, sweets everywhere, and you know, in the cinemas there's probably some upgraded movie or scary movie somewhere. So you know what that means. Halloween is upon us. So DKW decided to do a show about evil, but not quite as you'd expect it, and we're going to go deep into that in a moment. But let me just introduce you to the rest of the ladies in the studio. We've got Gemma.
Hi everyone.
Sandra.
Hi.
And we've got Maria.
Hi, Shireen.
Hello ladies, how are you?
Good. Really good.
It's
really
been
good.
a long time.
Do you know, it feels really funny actually, because I feel like I haven't been with any of you for ages.
Well, Sandra's on DKW,
It's
always on the street.
Always on the street. Today, I get to be here with you.
Yeah, the last time I think we were together was at the Love School event, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah. And then I went to Portugal, of course.
Yes, yeah, rub it in there, Shireen.
Isn't it? Just keeps rubbing it in.
Tell us that you've been on holiday.
But I'm
We've
back
got
now.
it, we've got it.
But let's get to it. I want to ask you guys an opinion. What's your definition of evil?
Ooh, that's a hard question actually. That is a hard question.
When you think of evil, what comes to your mind?
Black.
Black, all right.
And that's weird because it's funny because I love wearing black, but I always think of like black and darkness.
Yes.
Something ugly, all the like. Sandra, what about you?
I'm black today, so I hope I'm not that anymore. For me, scary. Whenever I think of it, I think, scary. Like, just what happened a few minutes.
Oh, actually, Sandra, I was going to come on the studio with a cat. But I thought, no, let me just scare her myself.
That would have been
Sandra hates cats.
That would have been evil, Shireen.
I know.
So evil.
Actually, we probably would have lost Sandra on the show, to be honest.
The ambulance would have come, literally.
Either that or she would have killed the cat. What about you, Marie? What's your definition?
Of evil. I think it's probably a planned murder.
Yeah, that's what. To be honest with you, that's what kind of comes to mind. You know, you always think about the murders, the rapes. You know, the like the kind of the big sins is what normally comes to my mind.
Planned one, yes.
Yeah. All right. So Sandra, apparently you've got some news for us.
I do indeed. Well, as evil seems to be everywhere, which started off by scaring me. For example, in the news this week, there was a story of a little girl who sparked an international investigation to find the identity of her true parents after she was found living with a Roma Gypsy couple in Greece.
Yeah. I saw that.
So the couple were charged with abducting a minor, and allegedly her mother, Sasha Ruseva, claims she handed over her daughter while working as a farmer back in 2009, but denies receiving any payments. And basically, the authorities said it's unlikely that either parents will take the child.
Or keep her. Wow.
Yeah, keep her. None at all. It's just
a right confusion, isn't it?
It's very confusing. I don't even know what to say. So wait, hold on. Can I just get this right? So what happened? Her real parents say that they deny giving her over for payment.
Yeah.
And then the ones that have got her at the moment, they saying what, that she's been charged for abduction.
They charged them for abduction. Yeah.
Wow.
For taking the child.
You know, it's sad really because that's it. That's what I think of, poor child, because you know because obviously if they're taken from both parents, then that child is left without a familiar family anyhow. Do you know what I mean? And it's really difficult, because I think that if you grow up and you feel that nobody wants you, I think that you carry that for the rest of your life, and she's going to carry that into her adulthood, and she's going to have a series of problems after that. Because even now, if she's placed with an amazing family, a loving family, that would be wonderful, but she'll still keep that rejection within inside of her, and it will take ages for her to overcome that.
And she'll even actually look at them in evil ways, while thinking, oh, what's their intention, etc., because of what happened to her.
It's actually quite interesting. Do you think, I want to ask Maria this, do you think that people who go, like that child goes through a situation like that, you know, that's where evil is born, when they have this kind of injustice kind of thing happen to them?
Well, yeah, it's going to make a huge impact on the child's life as she grows up. And, you know, knowing that her real parents don't want to take responsibility, then those, you know, I mean, this child is going to grow up. And a lot of child, you know, having been through such trauma, I don't know, I mean, you see a lot of, they end up doing things that, I mean, I'm not saying this child is going to end up being a murderer or anything like that, but a lot of them, they really turned out really bad.
It's
not saying every child does, but, you know, you never know how it's going to affect the child.
Yeah,
that's it. And you do find that a lot of people who have had a traumatic past, sometimes they internalize that anger, and then they manifest it in ways that you just think, oh, hold on, this person, why would you do this? Why would you do that? But then when you go back into the past, you realize that they've had such trouble that they've never been able to express. And the only way they're able to express it is by doing terrible things to other people, because maybe right now she feels angry at her parents, or her real parents, the ones that raised her, or the real ones. But maybe because she won't have a chance to act that out on them, she'll act it out on someone else. You know, and like, for example, women who go out to destroy people's marriages, for instance, because they've been hurt in their love life. You see, it becomes a pattern.
Yes.
Sometimes,
Cycle,
not all the time.
Vicious cycle that starts from somewhere. I've been hurt, so I'll pass the hurt on.
That's it.
And I think pass on, and you'll go on and on until someone
and
actually
who knows, maybe, I don't know, maybe one day when she has children of her own, how is that going to affect her children? I mean, is she going to neglect her children? Is she going to... We don't know. We don't know the future of this child.
My days. Well, do you agree with the ladies at home? Do you agree with Gemma's opinion? Do you agree with Maria's opinion? Share with us. This is your show. 0207 686 6300. We'll be happy to hear from you live. Also, you can leave your comments on A Different Kind of Woman on our Facebook page. Now, ladies, let me give you the definition of what evil is according to Wikipedia, and then you tell me what you think about it. Apparently, it says that, well, evil varies as does the analysis of its roots, motive and causes, but there are elements that are commonly associated with evil, such as unbalanced behaviour involving selfishness, ignorance or neglect. I want to say that again. There's different definitions, of evil, but there are elements that are commonly associated with evil, such as unbalanced behaviour involving selfishness, ignorance or neglect. So, what do you reckon about that?
I thought there was a better definition.
Yeah, me too.
To be honest, to be completely honest with you. I just thought, oh, this is a little bit smooth, isn't it? It's really soft, and you know, I really thought that it would be something a lot more stronger than this. You know, because like we said, even when we think of evil, you're thinking of like rah, and it's like, oh, you know, unbalanced. Not to say that these things are not bad, but it's like unbalanced selfishness. You know, someone could be sitting at home saying, yeah, I'm a little bit selfish sometimes. Does that mean I'm evil?
Yeah, I'm neglectful.
You know, I think what you neglect as well,
I think that's putting the word evil very lightly. It is very lightly.
Yeah. You don't go around, for example, let's be honest, you don't go around in your day-to-day and call the average, well, hopefully, the average Joe, you evil this or you evil that. Do you know what I mean? It's usually when someone's done something absolutely terrible in your eyes that you just think, oh,
like something that you think, oh, no one else, I would never do that kind of thing. So extreme.
Exactly, so extreme that me or my neighbour or anyone else would
my
ever do that. No one that I associate myself with, hopefully, would ever do that. You evil. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just
and you can't find no other words to say.
It's just evil.
No, but apparently, according to this, if you neglect something or someone, you're ignorant or you're selfish.
You know, ignorant. Come on, like
Well,
sometimes you know who. You know
that's
they
where it
say
starts, in the
ignorance is
roots.
bliss.
Not bliss anymore.
Well, it's evil now.
Ignorance is not bliss, it's evil. You know, because ignorance as well. How can you help that? Sometimes you're ignorant because you genuinely don't know.
Well, Gemma, it looks like we're all evil then.
Well, that makes you evil, Gemma.
Well, funny you should say that actually, because after the break we're going to be discussing the 7 Ds of evil, and trust me, it's really not what you think. Join us after this break. The thing popped out of my ear.
In life, there are problems that just hit you with a blow. Everything crumbles away, and the heartache never seems to disappear. Everything keeps going wrong. You are in despair. What do you do when your hope isn't enough? When your single prayer seems to return unanswered, and the persistent problem is still there? Partner with God and make a chain of prayer. The Chain of Prayer is a weekly series of uninterrupted prayer and action to tackle the most stubborn of problems. Make the chain of prayer and turn things around once and for all. Don't give up. Make a chain of prayer. It works.
Forgiving the person who betrayed you can be tough, and it can almost always leave a scar. A scar that remains from an abusive past can affect your future in so many ways. There are various forms of abuse, the seen and the unseen. We understand your pain because we have been through it ourselves. If you or someone you know is a victim of any form of abuse, help is available. Rahab. Removing all hurt and abuse. We won't pretend it never happened, but our aim is to help you heal the wounds of the past so that you can build a happy future. We'll listen, we'll advise, we'll be your shoulder to cry on. It's free, confidential, and we're just a phone call away. For more information, call 0207 686 6000 or visit our website uckg.org/Rahab.
Click on to uckg.org for all the latest happenings at the UCKG Help Centre. It's dynamic, interesting and full of content that will add to your daily life. Keep up to date with all the latest info and events up and down the country at a UCKG closest to you. There's something for everyone and you're invited. Check out what we've done previously and update your calendar with what's coming up next. Ladies, especially for you, presenters and authors Nanda Becerra, Esther Becerra, Chris Cardoso and Viviani Freitas share with you advice on becoming a better woman. Read their top tips on health, beauty, love and well-being, all aimed at helping you become the woman you were created to be. And if you're looking for food for the soul and personal development, then check out messages from world-renowned spiritual leader Bishop Macedo, as well as character-building blogs from Bishops Renato and Celso Jr. It's spiritual intelligence for your life. And for all you young guys and girls, why not check out our section dedicated to youth? Real talk, real advice, and a whole lot of fun. Catch cool clips of their shows and listen to the catchiest VYG record track. Want some inspiration? Watch our live transformational videos, recent programs, plus all the promos and coverage of some of our best shows and events.
Is finding answers, and we are here.
Finding us is easy. Wherever you are in the UK, find the UCKG nearest to you at a click of a button. uckg.org. all you need at your fingertips.
If you are searching for words of inspiration and wisdom to give you direction and strength, then visit Bishop Seltzer Jr.'s blog with daily updates. www.bpseltzerjr.com. There you will find his posts, future event details, and general information about him. Bishop Seltzer Jr.'s blog, to motivate your day.
Welcome back to DKW, and today we're going to be revealing the 7 Ds of evil. That's right, and we're going to get straight to it. And actually, before we do that, these Ds are related to 3 parts of your body. They're your eyes, your hands, and your heart. And if you think you can guess already before we reveal them, feel free to call us live on the show on 0207 686 6300 or send us an email at comments@dkw.me. Now, who's got the first point?
I've got the first one. Right, so the first one is deadly. If words could kill, many women are walking around with a loaded weapon. That's right. They shoot out so many bullets. So the thing is with words, right? You can't take them back.
Yes.
Once you say it, even if you say sorry, the truth is once it's said, it's gone out into the atmosphere and into that person's heart. It's gone really. Right, so I've got something here, which I tried to memorise, but I just couldn't. Right, so Lindsay Lohan, allegedly she grew up witnessing her parents, and I know quite a bit about Lindsay Lohan because I've read up on her. Allegedly she grew up witnessing her parents' violent marriage, and it was marred by abuse. And I know that her dad's done some prison time, and I think she talks about it quite openly. So can you imagine what it's done to her head, really? And the lyrics to Confessions of a Broken Heart by her says, daughter to father, I don't know you, but I still want to. Daughter to father, tell me the truth. Did you ever love me? That's really powerful, isn't it? Because these are the confessions of a broken heart. Now, from this song, a lot of people go around singing Lindsay's songs. A lot of young people, actually, young girls, and they're singing it out, singing their heart. But the truth is, when you really dissect these words, they're really powerful, really, really powerful. And it's obviously, she's showing what is inside of her. And I imagine that Lindsay, she's had quite a troubled past over the past few years. Talented actress, beautiful, young, she had her whole sort of life ahead of her. Actually, with Lindsay, she was interesting because she was one of the few that actually could sing and she could actually act as well.
And you forget that. You forget that she can sing because
You
so
do.
many dramas she's been in. You
That's
completely
it.
forget her talents.
Exactly, because she's not been in the papers for her talents recently.
Yeah.
It's either shoplifting or, you know, some sort of DUI or drugs. There's always something with her. But when you look at these words, I don't know what you think about it. And you know what's funny as well? Because a lot of people, if they've got these feelings, a lot of the time they keep it to themselves. You know what we were talking about before the break? But she's actually putting this out to millions of people, a song to her father. And what I think is, goodness me, couldn't you just tell him that yourself?
Yeah, what do you make of that? I mean,
Some people actually, some songwriters, singers, they actually do put out what they're feeling inside through their songs, because I think they think that's the only way that they can express themselves through their talent. So they use their talent to express themselves. There's been so many. If you look at the lyrics, you actually see some people are crying out through their songs. I can't
and you
mention
don't know
all
because the beat is
artists.
there, so you just
Yeah, because you're too busy there with the beat. Woo, sounds lovely. I'm loving it. But they're actually crying out through their songs. If you look at the words, like with this one, I'm sure lots of people have sang this song, not actually, you know, looking deeper as to what she's trying to say. So a lot of them do that. A lot of artists.
Because the word is deadly here, and some women are thinking, how does this relate to me?
Yeah.
But you know, I'd like to flip it around a little bit, because her dad listening to this song, or knowing that all of his friends, everyone, you know, because does it mean then that because he made mistakes in the past that he is never allowed to move on from it?
Or that you can't change,
Or
perhaps?
that he can't change, you know? And I know that she's angry, and I feel that almost through these words, like I said, couldn't she say this to her dad? And maybe it's quite difficult, but even in a letter or something. But I think that when you put it out in the public sphere, it then doesn't allow him to move on from the situation, because maybe he's not abusive anymore. You know, he's done his time, maybe he's completely changed. changed. You know, who's to say that he can't then move on, have a wife, have some more children if he wanted to, and live a brand new life? But these words are deadly. Why? Because it brings him back to who he was as well. It brings him back to his past, and he then can't move on because of these words. And it is unfortunate that he did all that stuff. Of course, you've got to pay for the consequences, but it's so many years later and she's still got all of these, and these words are like knives to his heart, I'm sure, because maybe he didn't even realise the harm that he did to her.
Well, actually, bringing it back to just down to earth, like us common folk, you know, who are not in the celebrity eye, I mean, the words of a woman can be deadly, let's face it. Talk about a mother with her child. I mean, when I was younger, my mum, my mum called me some names when I was growing up. That affected me for years to come. And even though she was a fantastic mum, I must say, fabulous, still are wonderful, she looks like my sister today. Those words, when she used to call me a blob and useless and things like that, that really affected me like deep into my teens. And even as an adult, when I thought I'd go over it, you know, there were little things I used to do that would make me feel that I was still useless. So your words as a mother, for example, can be deadly if you say them in the wrong way. As a wife, trust me, I know, as a wife, it's not easy. But sometimes you say things to your partner, or even a girlfriend to your partner, and your partner can do to you, by the way, but as we're speaking about the women today, that can really just knock someone's confidence for six. And you just feel like, I don't even want to be in a relationship anymore.
That's it. It's funny because I don't want to promote the love school or anything, but it was so good. But I remember Renato, one of the main talkers, he said something that he actually put it this way: women have a talent of using their using words like, like a knife,
I don't know what he meant by that.
Gemma, I did like the way he said that. I was there, I was at the event, I did like to say.
Men don't have that talent.
You know, it was very specific, very straight to the point.
Deliberate, right?
Yes.
You know, deadly.
I remember actually when I was at school, there was a few girls who, I don't know if you've seen the show Hey Arnold? So they used to call me that. Hey Arnold head and things like that. So you know what happened? For years and years, I put on like weave fake hair just to cover my head and things like that, because their words literally killed me. But today I'm free because I have my own natural hair. I overcame those words.
Know that. Basically, she wanted the nation to know that she's got her own hair. Okay.
It's funny because they say that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
It does.
And they do.
And this point does relate to the heart, isn't it?
That's it.
But you've got something else, isn't it, Maria? What do you have?
What's the second one?
Okay, well, my one. Doubtfulness is my D word today. And as we know, it does create little Miss Jekyll and Hyde.
Do explain.
Not really sure, actually.
It's funny because, when you're doubtful, I mean...
But you never think, I mean, just 'cause I've got a doubt, does it mean that I'm evil? Like, could it mean like, because this is the 70s of evil, so doubtfulness.
I wouldn't I'm sorry, but this is getting
Maria,
a little bit too much, you know. Well, it actually says the person is unsure of themselves, which means you are neither here or there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, get it.
Okay, so you're kind of like in between, you're unsure, and I suppose, does that make you evil? I don't know.
Can I be honest about this one?
Yeah,
'Cause
let's
you know me,
speak.
I love to get on my soapbox and stuff, and I'm going to set up for this. The thing is, I think everyone has doubts, everybody, and that's fine. That's not. It can be evil, but it depends on how far you take it. But I think everyone has doubts, insecurities, etc. The thing about this one, which I think is evil, is when you don't have a personality. That's what gets me, because then you can't trust that person. Because someone who is doubtful about themselves, that means that they are, they're like a sponge. It's like they take everything in and they can actually change shape. So do you know what I mean? It's like the chameleon. You know, oh, if I'm with Sandra, you know, I'm going to be like Sandra, you know, flicking my hair. Let know it's natural. You know, if I'm with, you know, you, Shireen, I'm going to be all frail and so on. But if I'm with someone else, I'm someone different. I think that's what can be evil. Because I think that if nobody knows who you are, then you then can't be truthful.
you can't trust the
You
person.
can't- and that is deadly.
That is
That
deadly
is
because
deadly.
you know when you can't trust that person, you can even go as far to say that you know you're almost like a liar because you're not being true to yourself and you're not being true to me. And I think that's what it means with this one is like if you're a doubtful person, if you're unsure of who you are, you can be easily influenced, yes, but also you can change to be anybody that if I want you to be something, I'll be, you know, I'll be what she wants me to be. I'll be what he wants me to be. And that is dangerous because how long can you keep that up?
And you know what? Do you know what I like to? Sorry to cut you, Maria, but you know I like to watch this thing on Sky. It's like Unsolved Mysteries, yeah. And you see that these you know, I find it fascinating, like these murderers, but they look so normal. And each person gives account of them in a different way. It's like there were 7 different people to 7 different people. And no one knew who they were. It was so scary. That's why they found it impossible to catch them. When they did catch them, they had like 7 different lives, especially because they didn't know who they were. And even when they did catch them, they broke down. It was like, it wasn't me. They like to say, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, because they doubted who they were. They just picked up a bit of each person, did something crazy, and they didn't know who they were. So I can see where this can stem from.
And it actually does say it is dangerous because, as you said yourself, Gemma, because the person is easily influenced. You know, and I was, as you were talking, I was thinking about a relationship as well. In a relationship, if say for instance the woman is doubting that the man is at, just say for at work, and you know, and you never know what could be going on inside of that woman's head. Oh well, he says he's at work, but I don't think he's at work, and planning all these things, and you know, even revenge or whatever, and especially if she's been there already.
Actually, that's very interesting, Maria, because that goes to my next point, which is devalued. Now, I completely understand how this could be one of the 7 Ds, because this is a consequence of the first D. If your value doesn't come from you, where is it going to come from? Many women become and do things that they would never dream of doing because they allow themselves to define others to define who they are. So compromising who they are and what makes them. So, for example, I don't want to give like celebrity names as I often do because I feel that, you know, one day I'm really going to get in trouble on this show. But, you know, there are certain stars, for example, certain pop stars that I am like, they've grown up a certain way, like with a good girl image or a good boy image, we'll stick to the girls. And then all of a sudden they're just doing crazy things of late, mentioning no names. And they are literally stripping, you know, good girls who are literally stripping, provocative dancing. And they're #1, like in 90 countries. They are like, you know, doing anything just to get that paycheck and to get that fame. They've completely lost their value as women. In fact, they've turned into what I would call soft porn stars for fame because they don't have a value. And this is very, very, very serious. This is very dangerous because if you don't have a value, you won't stand for anything. You won't define yourself with anything. When problems come to you, you just let them completely mold you and change you. And that's why I say it's interlinked to the other point of being doubtful. Because if you've got good principles for yourself, it doesn't matter what will come to you. You're going to hold fast to your principles. But then if a storm comes or a situation happens, if you're going to lose your value, you're going to completely lose your definition. And someone with definition is lost.
That's it. I think you see it the most in relationships.
Yeah.
I think because when you're alone, you don't know if you've got values or not. But I think when you get with other people, whether it's with a friendship, especially in a partnership or a marriage, for instance, you definitely see it. You know if you've got values or not. Because, for example, we as women, we're very emotional. And the choices that we make depends on our value system.
Indeed.
And if you don't value yourself, you see a lot of the time, you know, you see women who are, you know, beautiful, got everything going for them. And sometimes they're going for someone and that they've got absolutely no future with.
Yeah, you wonder.
And you wonder just how did that happen? Like, why? You know, can't you see that this is not going to go anywhere? You know, and then you realise that actually deep down, because the thing about this one is nobody knows for a long time, usually, if someone doesn't value themselves. It's only when they make a mistake that you think, my goodness, how could you do this? How could you do that? How could you let him walk all over you like that? You know, or how could you stay with somebody who's doing this or doing that? And you know, sometimes it's because of their own value system. And then it's only when they're in that relationship that they realise, oh, I didn't value myself like I thought I did. You know, so this is why it's so dangerous. We you know, with women, I think we've constantly got to ask ourselves, why do I do what I do? You know, why do I behave like this? Because if you don't search, a lot of the time you think that you're someone that you're not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the danger of it. And I say this from experience,
Yes.
because I thought I had a lot of value. It's only when I got into my first relationship that I let him do so many things to me. And then I realised afterwards, actually, you didn't have any values. You didn't have any values, any standards, any principles. I was just happy to be in a relationship with somebody that wanted to be with me because I had no value of my own.
And I think also, Gemma, what I think also is that many women, we talk about women, mostly women, and you know, they've actually lost the meaning of that.
Yeah.
They really have. And when you look at themselves, you know, especially when you're in a relationship, you don't look at yourself, oh, I value myself, so I'm not going to let you do that. That word, it's like it's forgotten. It's lost. It really got lost with time.
And I think that's very, very important, because it's like, what makes you have value anyway? Because actually, if you look at the newspapers, if you look at society, unless you grow up in a really, really good family, you gain something, something that's different, that adds to you, that tells you are something as a woman, you are special as a woman. You don't have to reveal yourself, you know, to get someone special in your life. You know, because look at what social media does. Look at what society is telling you as a woman. I mean, we've got rights now, yes, but then you also have the flip side where women are completely exposing themselves and taking us down a notch. So it's like, especially when you're a young woman these days, where do you look to find values, to find good values that you should copy or imitate? Because that's what we do as women. We look to other women, let's face it, we do. We look to other women, we look at the covers, we look at celebrities, we look who's doing well, who's successful. I want to copy that person. And if the successful women out there are those who are exposing themselves all the time or having different kinds of men all the time, then people will, you know, indirectly think that is what it is to be it. But really, where is value learned from? That's the thing.
Also, there's a lot of young girls out there, young children, and you know, they're watching just say like Britney Spears, whatever, where she started in her, you know, what I did, you know, but well, it's true. And you know, they see them, it's like, you know, they're looking at them as examples. Young girls looking at them as example, but what example are they now?
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but
sorry, when you look at it, actually, these famous singers that are devaluing themselves, when you look at their background, some of them actually grew up in good homes with good principles, good values, and you wonder what happened along the way. Why did you not continue this? Why are you doing? You know, you're devaluing yourself in this way. Why?
Because someone somewhere has told them this is the way that you're going to find success. It's sad but true. Okay, well, better get off this point. Actually, let's go to a break. We're going to be revealing the next 4 Ds of evil after this.
When we want to reach our goals, we research, act, and make sure we know everything there is to know about that topic. We study hard because that is the intelligent thing to do. This is the same for our development as a Christian. The Faith School is designed for those who want a degree in spiritual growth, those who want to separate time to study the Holy Bible and follow God's path for their life. There is no admissions fee and it's suitable for every level of learner. You will learn how to interpret the Word of God for your daily life and become stronger internally. Do you want to find inner peace and spiritual strength? Then this course is for you. The Faith School, every Wednesday at your local UCKG Help Centre. For more information, call 020 7686 6000 or visit our website uckg.org. If you're a single mother suffering from a troubled past, then don't lose hope. There's always someone you can turn to. We understand. With all the challenges of everyday life, the financial responsibility, and the pressure of being a single parent, life can be overwhelming at times. Single parents and their children can flourish, but without the right support, a family can fall apart. The Tamar Group is there for lone parents who need guidance, support, and encouragement to get them through their everyday battles. Whether it's a group discussion, a mother and child bonding session, or some personal advice, we are here for you. Everyone needs a helping hand at one point or another. Let us be yours. For more information on our meetings and where the nearest Tamar Group is to you, then visit our website uckg.org/Tamar or give us a call on 020 7686 6000.
The UCKG Helpline Call Centre is open 24 hours a day, every day of the week, all year round. If you need help due to a serious problem you may be going through, if you feel that you have nowhere to turn to and desperately need someone to lend a listening ear, then we can help you. It doesn't matter who you are or what you have done, your religion or race, your call will be answered by someone who genuinely cares about you and has your best interests at heart. We also arrange home visits for the housebound and hospital visits for anyone in great need of kindly human contact. Whether it is simply information you want or desperately need someone to talk to, we're here for you on 0207 686 6000.
Hello and welcome back to DKW. And before the break, we were discussing 3 of the 7 Ds of evil. If you'd like to comment on anything that we've said on the show so far, feel free to call us on 0207 686 6300. Now we're going to go to the next point, which is Sandra.
The next point, which is familiar to a lot of women, derogatory, brings out the mean girl in you. You know, when the women look at other women, put them down, look at them, think, who does she think she is, blah, all that kind of attitude thing. When there's something really rooted inside as to why they're putting on that cover. I mean, we know a lot of women that way, that catty behaviour.
Women are known for that. You kind of never really know, like guys, for he's so catty. you know, I always say this on this show. You know, guys, you can see them rolling threes. Women, it's like, you know, if there's 3 of you, there's an issue. No, she's my best friend. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and that's the thing, we are known for it. Or, you know, we talk about backhanded comments, you know, compliments and stuff like that. Oh, lucky shoes. You know, or, you know, just so many things. Or if you're in a relationship. And that's the thing, this one spreads to every area of your life. Yeah, like, indeed. You know, your weight, you know, if someone's thinner than you. And what I find with women, they just, again, have this talent to, like, if someone has something better than they have, sometimes, not all women are like this, but sometimes it's like, just because she's better, you're going to point at something that she hasn't got. Yeah. So for example, a relationship, you know, maybe she's beautiful, maybe she's successful, maybe she's doing well in all areas, but if she hasn't got a guy, it's like, oh, so anyone in your life yet? There? Oh no. Oh, okay.
This is if I can find this.
Yeah, it's like they poke at what you don't have to sort of bring you down a peg or two. And I think women sometimes they are very good at doing that.
Have to find something
to pick at. Yeah.
Yeah. So I find it very interesting on this show how we always say they, like it's not us. I'm just saying.
To be honest, I was going to say.
You know me. I like to be honest. I genuinely don't do this one because I can't stand it.
Haven't you done it before, Jim?
No, not really.
She complimented my shoes earlier. I don't know now.
Sandra, I like your shoes.
Next thing you know, Sandra's shoe will break.
I know, evil eyes. But it's funny, like I'd like to, actually I don't have any of these.
Oh, completely. It's all good, Gemma.
It's funny, yeah, this one I don't like it because I think that women, we have a lot of insecurities normally. Yeah. And I just think that if someone's beautiful, then just be honest and say she's beautiful. Like, because sometimes it shows that you've got some internal issues yourself. If you can't be happy for another woman who's doing well, or if she looks better, you know, there's always going to be someone who's prettier than you or smarter or, you know, got a better looking husband. Yeah. You know, just be happy for her because sometimes...
Why can't women be happy? What is it that they feel like they need to be in this sort of competition with each other? What is it, guys? Because it's true, it's like you're saying men are just not like that. So what is it about the ladies? Why do we do this? Why?
Thing, Shireen. I don't know, but it's just a woman thing. This is us. You think?
I think that is it. I think some people are not a hold of their emotions. I'm talking a lot on this program, but I do think it's insecurity.
They don't have nothing to do in life. They're bored, so they want to put their business in other people's lives.
Someone call up and tell Sandra that she's wrong. Please, 0207 686 6300. Tell her, Sandra, that she's got the wrong friends.
They are. That's why they're just busybodies in everyone else's life, because men get on with it. Well, I've seen it, darling. I've seen it.
Do you think you might go back to the whole Eve thing and that women have just got evil streak in them?
No,
probably.
You know, because Eve was born in the garden. So there you are, met someone, chat, you know, busybody, woo. And there you have it.
Eve was queen of the castle at the end of the day. There was no other woman. It was just the animals.
Didn't realise.
Yeah, it was just the animals. You know,
always want more, don't you, as a woman, don't you? You always want more.
Actually, you said to me, about they. Now I can think of an example, because I was speaking to my partner the other day, and he was saying, if I had a best friend that was very good looking, you'd have an issue with it. And then I thought about it, and I said, actually, yeah, I would. But he was like, but if I had an ugly one, or someone who you just thought was completely, I'm much better, you'd be all right with it.
You mean a best friend as a woman, you mean?
That's it, that's it. And I really thought about it long and hard, and I thought, yeah, actually, you're right. You know, so I'm admitting, actually, I think it's women always want to be the best at what they do, and if they feel like someone's going to rain on their parade, then they're just thinking, let me just knock her out of the. That's it, just to bring her down. And I think, especially with relationships, if you're with your partner and your partner, there's someone more beautiful, that's a lot of the time when they pick at something. Because when he said it, I said, yeah, that's true. If you did have a beautiful best friend that was more beautiful than me, and I've said this on the show before, I would have a big issue with it.
I think it's got competition between women. Competition between women.
Well, we could do a whole show and just on derogatory. But let's go to the next point.
It actually leads on. And, I promise everyone I am going to stop talking after this point. But since it's mine, I've got to say it. Dysfunctional. And dysfunctional is the next D. I think it's the fifth one. They don't understand why they do what they do. They don't value themselves. They're all over the place with no goals, a lack of balance. Also, this is where the balance comes in from the... a lack of balance fits into this as well. Dysfunctional. Why do you guys think it's like one of the...
They don't understand why they do what they do. Yeah, right. Women know exactly what they're doing. They plan it out. A whole map.
It's true, the brain's going overtime.
Exactly.
I think even in my sleep I'm thinking to
you know what I mean?
Not of evil things, of course.
What they're doing.
Why do you think dysfunctional can be like one of the D's of evil? Maria.
Oh, yeah.
Maria.
I'm sorry, but I'm laughing at this one because she's, they're saying that women knows exactly what they're doing. But wait till we get to my next point, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. Women are just crazy. Women are just...
we suffer a lot as well as women. 'Cause,
I agree.
You go through a lot, and sometimes, and depending on, and I have to defend my fellow woman here, because I know there's some points in the month, for instance, and a lot of guys will say, oh, you just use that as an excuse, but there are some times in the month where you're more emotional than other times, and I think the point about not understanding why you do what you do, sometimes you have a reaction, because we are emotional beings. Sometimes you have a reaction that you're not proud of, but you don't understand why you've done it. Or sometimes just a word or a look will bring out such an emotion of rage that you just think, why did I act like this? And I think that's where it goes back to what I was saying, questioning why you do what you do. But I think the dysfunction comes in when you're out of control.
Yeah.
When you're not in control of your emotion, because I've definitely been that way before, completely. Sometimes you say something and then you kind of think about it afterwards and you think, oh, I wish I didn't say that, or I wish I didn't do that. And I think that it could become evil because your emotion actually can lead you to revenge. It could lead you to murder even. You hear that saying, a woman scorned, hell hath no fury. The thing is, it's because as women, we've got such like this powerful surge inside of us. And if you let that go too far, you can do things that you never imagined that you would do. And I think that's where it can become evil.
When there's no balance, I think.
And also like,
no
going back to your background as well, dysfunctional, how your family was, like the women in your family. So when that sort of trait just goes on and you just don't know what you're doing as well, because that's it's like it's an inheritance that's just passed down to you as well. You think, oh, they did that, so it's normal, so you do it as well. You're out of control because they are out of control as well. So you just think, it's just how it is.
And I think put a few of the hormones in the mix of it as well. That also doesn't help, right? What's your point, Maria?
We go through a lot, don't we?
Menopause.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I was laughing before while you guys were saying women knows exactly what they're doing, and well, what do you hear? This one, delusional. I mean, we know. We do know. You're going to agree with me. I know the three of you are going to agree with me.
Yeah.
You know how like women are downright crazy in their own mind. Yes, we are.
Speak for yourself, Maria.
I'm speaking. Yeah, because we do. You know, I mean, I think I've done something crazy in my time as well. But you know, like for example, when they start planning things that's not even real in their minds. You know, okay, say a guy walk past. Hello, imagine. The woman is already planning the wedding. You know,
You've done that.
He loves me. And then you start imagining his last name with yours. Yeah, for sure. I've done it as well.
Etc. And I've actually, sorry guys, I'm not like this anymore. But I've stalked on Facebook and everything, love, everything. Yeah. When was the last status? When was this? You know, we went to create the name, everything. I've created so many things. It's like a robot computer in the brain. Created so many things. Yes.
Sandra, please tell me. I need to know. Did you go and buy the wedding dress?
Oh no, I didn't go that far. I could have, but I overcame then.
Some women will actually do. They will actually plan the wedding to the T. They will go to the shop, they will get the wedding dress, they will do everything. And that's just by the guy just saying hi.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
It is very difficult.
It is.
Yeah.
It's hard because, you know, I think we believe in the fairy tale.
We want to be loved.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is, you don't want to be evil. Like, you know, when Sandra was planning her wedding to that guy, at the end, it's not because she was evil. It wasn't born out of an evil. It's because you want to be happy at the end of the day. And I think there's something called hope that is so powerful within women that sometimes it leads you to plan your life, and that's all you want. You want the Cinderella lifestyle. You want someone to come and rescue you.
Yes.
You know, you just want to be happy at the end of the day. I think it can become very evil because I think with hope, if hope hurts you, then you've got to cut it off.
Yeah.
Because if your hope is leading you to damage, to destruction, then you have to realize that this is evil. This is destroying me. Yeah. Because hope is supposed to bring good things to you, not evil.
And you know, Gemma, you know how we've been talking about, like, you know, our background, and especially if, you know, if the woman she's gone through, again, we talk about the childhood, because most of the things begin from the childhood. And if she's never known love, you know, from her parents, from anyone in, you know, and then just that one hello, that one look from someone loves me.
That's it. Definitely.
You know, and they start, you know, it starts playing on their mind. They start to, you know, and it's quite sad, really.
It is. Gemma, you've got the final point, isn't it?
Do you know what? I've put my cards down and everything. All right, so the last one is divisional. Point number 7. Women who can't keep friends. Causing issues in the family, for example, because all she does is put people against each other. And I think this one is quite sad because women were supposed to be homemakers, were supposed to be the loving ones and so on. But it was just like what I said earlier, you know, when women can't roll in threes because it's like, no, she's my best friend and then you want to be liked more, etc., etc. I think division can be a big, big evil because sometimes it will lead you to lie, it will lead you to make up stories. This is where the delusion comes in again. It will lead you to do so many different things just because you don't want to see two people together. Some women will go as far to break up families, to break up relationships because they want to be divisional. And when you look at this, this goes back to your definition earlier about selfishness. Because when you think about division, it can only be rooted in selfishness because a lot of the time you divide, say, a family, you know, women who will go after a married man, for instance.
And only some women, they say, oh, my target is just to go after a married man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That means their actual motive is to divide,
Yeah.
really is.
That's right. And a lot of the time it's because you're trying to fulfill a selfish desire. You want that person for yourself.
Yes. Or you want to make that other woman feel pain.
That's it. You know, oh, why is she happy? Actually, I've never been able to keep a good relationship. Why should she have one?
Yeah.
You know, so I think that can be really, really, I think it's one of the worst
No, it
evils,
is.
division.
When you find a spirit of division in a woman, it's the worst. Even in the workplace. Oh no, you know, if it's, I don't know what it is, but you know, sometimes women find it hard, even if, as managers, like you've got managing the employee. If it's all like a group of women, then there's that cattiness again, there's a division. I don't need to listen to her. Who does she think she is? I know better than her. All of that. And funny enough, you don't tend to find that a lot with guys when it's a guys and a woman. But with women, for some reason, they have that, you know, that dividing spirit. And if that is there, it can really cause damage, a proper damage.
It creates things that weren't there before. Because again, bring it back to the workplace. Sometimes everybody's as happy as Larry, and one word, you know, maybe people think like, for example, with a manager, oh, you know, she's doing really well, or oh, things are going fine, and then one word's like, no, but I saw this, and then it makes people think things that they weren't even thinking before.
But again, the worst thing behind division as well could be the jealousy. You know, because why would you want to break up a relationship? Why would you want to break a friendship?
And
What is behind that?
For example, if someone says something, they take the word so literally, and they create their own thing, and that's how they start the division. Oh, why did she say it like that? Oh, did she mean this? That's it. And then they start, you know, just to create things that wasn't there.
Well,
so
actually,
it leads
that's
all
very
to that.
good, you know, what you just said there, Sandra, because a lot of the things, it does come by the way you see things, right? Your eyes. If you see a woman like that, for example, if you just think that, oh, this woman is this, that, and the other, no matter what she says, you're going to fine-tune it to believe that she is that kind of person, even if she isn't, because that's the way you see her. And then suddenly the victim, the woman, she can also turn evil because of the way she feels that she's being treated. You know, you always know when that woman, like someone has bad eyes towards you. You feel bad. You feel like, and sometimes it takes a very strong woman to say, you know what, I'm going to rise above this and I'm going to be good to that person. Instead, you find yourself being right. She has actually. Wait, let me show her. And then it goes round, and then it goes round. And suddenly a woman who wasn't like that she gives birth to that same attitude that someone else was being towards her. So
And
if you want to be a different kind of woman,
to the ear as well, because at the end of the day, it's like one person can see, like you could see something with your eyes, and then you can come to me. I then have to make a choice, because I personally have done that before. I've judged someone just because of what I've heard, and I don't even know them, but I thought, oh yeah, you know, there's that woman that, you know, and then you label her, and then you don't allow yourself to have a relationship with her because you've already got this preconceived idea of who she is. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you miss out on relationships as well, because maybe you've just got an issue with her shoes. Maybe she had better shoes than you that day, and you decided to tear her down, and I've listened to you, and I can't have a relationship with her just because of that. You know?
My gosh, it's very, very deep. But then it just goes to show you that, look, we were talking about evil at the beginning of the show, and everyone was talking about the big things, you know, oh, it's murder, it's you know, it's those deadly sins, those capital sins, you know, that when you think about evil. But then all of these points, they are the 7 Ds of evil. There's more. There's many more. We can only do 7 today. But you can find them in each of us. I mean, we've all been victim of all of them. But so what sets you apart? Does that mean that we're all evil? Are we evil women? I don't believe so. But however, I think that if we go back to the, when we're talking about the actual definition, which is, there are some elements associated with evil, such as unbalanced behaviour involving selfishness, ignorance and neglect. Now, I think that if you take any of these Ds way too far, when you're too extreme, you know, with them, that's when it becomes evil. Because at the end of the day, all of us will have that time when we feel like we're being a bit divisional. But then you've got your conscience. Your conscience tells you you've gone too far. It's kind of like when you have that conversation, you realise, oh no, I shouldn't have said that. Like you rightly said, Jem, you said like, you know, there was a time you judged a lady and then you said something and it was way too much. And afterwards you realise and you're like, oh, that was too much, I should have done. So then what do you do then? You don't continue being like that. You think, okay, how can I solve it? How can I go back? Maybe I'll just buy a box of chocolates or just say sorry. And then it ends there. You know, but there are times that some women take it too far where they just become like that and they fester, they let it grow, and grow, and that's when it really becomes evil, because that's when it's unbalanced. That's when there's no balance anymore. That's when you start becoming selfish. You're not thinking about the other woman's, you know, point of view, how she took what you said. That's when you become ignorant, because it's all about you, and that's when it becomes really evil, when it's way too extreme. Does anyone have any other point to add on that?
It's funny because I was thinking that all of the D's either relate to how we see ourselves, do you know what I mean, or how others see us. And a lot of the time, like you said, you can cut something off, but some women don't. They continue, they know they're divisional, but they keep it. You know, for example, I talked about value.
Yes.
Didn't value myself, and you know, when I found out that I didn't value myself, I had a choice, and actually I'm ashamed to say that I did not change. I knew I didn't value myself, and I didn't change, because to change a lot of the time is hard work. You've got to put that extra effort in, and I continued like that. But what you find is that if you are, we'd say a victim of these 7 Ds, if you're a victim of one of these, you know, you don't feel happy that you are.
Yes.
Because you know, a lot of the times before people tell us our faults, you know them already, and you can make yourself a choice, because you realise, oh, actually, I don't like being divisional, I don't like being doubtful, I don't like being one of these Ds. A lot of the time you don't want to be it.
Yes.
But if you don't change, if you don't make a conscious effort to change, then you are going to be unhappy deep down.
Indeed.
Because I was, and it was only one day, I remember there was a pivotal point in my life where I decided, actually, I'm fed up with this. I am going to value myself, I am going to change, and that was the best decision I ever made. And I don't go back on it, and I'm so happy I made it, because it changed my life completely. It changed how I saw things, it changed my career, it actually had an impact on my family, on everything that I did. But if you let it fester, like you say, then it will also affect everything that you did. And this is why we brought the show to them today. Because we need to show people that actually you have been living with it, and maybe it's been affecting your relationship. Maybe it's affecting your family, maybe it's affecting you at work, but you just sort of let it be. And I think that in itself is evil. You're being evil towards yourself, because you're not allowing yourself a better future.
Shireen, can I just say quickly also, Gemma, I'm touching back on the point that you made. You said you recognised, and that's a very important thing, to recognise that you were wrong and to be able to apologise.
Love it. Okay, and on that, we definitely got to close the show now, ladies. Thank you so much for trying to take over my channel. Thank you very much for joining us, ladies. Please take a look inside of yourself. Take time to invest in you. See how you can cut off these Ds and balance them out. Until next week. Bye-bye.